The world is saved and the world is over. So this one, we've got some things to talk about. A few great things have been happening lately, and then boom, something bad happens. And if you don't know what's going on, it's chaos. So we'll get into it. But I am going to start with the negative first, because then we'll leave it on a high for the good. So, what has been happening that is bad? Let's have a look. Do you know what this machine is? Obviously, you can read. But I think this is a phenomenal bit of equipment, right? I mean, the design that's gone into this, it looks spectacular. The only problem is they are currently being fired into Russia. Now, I don't like this headline. Ukraine fires UK supplied Storm Shadow missiles at Russia. No. I don't believe it's Ukraine firing these missiles, because I read somewhere that you couldn't train the Ukrainians with enough time to fire that, and obviously it's very advanced. I have no idea any of the advancements within it, but to fire something like that, I just imagine it's maybe like a PlayStation controller. You know what I mean? But why? Why does the UK need to be firing these into Russia? What is going on in Ukraine has got nothing to do with us. It's got nothing to do with us. Ukraine's not part of NATO. America and all of them shouldn't have got involved anyway. UK is followed because America has. The problem is we are getting involved in something that we don't need to be getting involved with a very dangerous person who is threatening nuclear war. Which, to be fair, I'll be honest, I don't blame him. Right? And you're going to be like, oh my God, how can you say that? How can you say that is... I'll tell you why. Putin... The reason why Putin moved in on Ukraine was because Ukraine was going to sign a contract with NATO to join NATO. Putin doesn't want NATO on his doorstep. So he said, don't do that, or I'm going to cause problems for you. And they went, nah, I don't really care what you say. We're doing it anyway. And he's gone, all right then. And that's why he's done it. And it's getting made out to be like, oh, Putin's this bad guy and that. But it's very similar with what happened in 1940. I don't want to say his name because then that'll bring up something else. Anyway, so Putin's threatening war, right? And the reason why, we've got to prepare for this because the UK is firing missiles at Russia. So Russia is going to go, well, you can have this then. And he's going to send some straight to the UK. And we're going to be like, oh yeah, the UK will defend it, and it'll be... It's not about whether the UK is going to defend it. It's about if that missile actually gets here. Right? It's not about, oh yeah, well, yes, it's all right for him to send it, but it's okay because the UK has got a military that's going to disable that missile before it gets here. Nah. What happens with that one? Just that one. One missile. Boom. I mean... to be fair, with where he'd send it, might not actually be the worst thing to ever happen. Because where he'd send it is to the people in charge of the UK, and the people in charge of the UK are destroying the UK anyway. So it's like, well, where do you stand? Honestly, Keir Starmer doesn't care. Because he's been asked anyway. There was an interview that he did. He was asked in an interview, British Parliament or Davos? And he didn't even think about it. He said Davos. If I had to choose one, it's Davos. Why? Because no matter what goes on in the UK, if the UK falls, the Parliament falls. If he's part of Davos, if the UK falls, the UK falls. But he's still going to be somewhere. You know what I mean? Or if it gets destroyed and whatever. The UK. One thing I've said about the UK, right, is, do you know what Alcatraz is? Alcatraz is a prison that is on a small island, right? If you know Call of Duty, it was Rebirth Island. Rebirth Island is Alcatraz. The UK is Alcatraz. It's because if something happened in, let's say you're in Germany, something happens in Germany and they lock down the country. There's no flights in, there's no through the border, whatever. Yeah, there's still going to be some way of you being able to escape that country, right? Somewhere around that border, you'll be able to somehow slip into another country and that. And then as soon as you're in there, you're like, oh, sorry, I'm on this side now. And they'll be like, can't touch him. He's crossed that line there. So, how are you going to escape the UK? As soon as they stop flights and as soon as they stop boats, how are you going to go? There's no other way to go other than swimming. You're going to have a private helicopter, a private flight, or you're going to have a rubber dinghy boat and somehow get through the English Channel, going back over to Calais without the Navy doing anything, right? Because the British Navy is the best Navy on the planet, right? Special Forces soldiers have said that on speeches. They've said that is the best, hands down, Navy on the planet. And they're not allowed to do their job. They're allowing all of these foreigners in. But wait until you start trying to leave this country and go that way. They're going to be like, excuse me, where are you going? Get back on there. No, you're not. No. You're going back over there. Get off your boat, get on this one, get back over there. Or we're going to tip your boat and you're going to swim. You're not realising that this is... If this country... I mean, it's going to continue because we've still got like another, 3 years? 3 years before the possibility... Well, it's like 3.5 years of... Until the next election. You know what I mean? The future looks bright for America because you've got Donald Trump in. But the reason behind what Putin's doing... Oh, actually, I'll tell you what we haven't spoke about. The reason why the UK and America are going in for it. I'll tell you why. Here we go. So, Donald Trump won the election. Donald Trump is going to make massive changes to everything going on right now, right? But Donald Trump isn't going in until January. He's not getting the keys to the White House till January. That's still a month and, what's the date? A month and a bit, you know what I mean? Nearly a month and a half of shit that's about to happen. Because the reason why they're doing it is because the people that are in power, the people that are currently in power right now, the Biden administration, they have control of everything going on, right? They controlled what was going on the news. They've had control about what wars are going on and who's going where, and like, do you want to be a boy or a girl, or do you want to be trans, or do you want to have this sex change, or do you want this body part cutting off, and all of that infection, right? All of that mental illness that has been all over the news for the past 4 years, 5 years, it's 4 years, but it's probably been a little bit longer, but it's slowly being drip fed for a period of time up until that point, and they've literally just gone, bam! Let's make everybody mentally ill. And a lot of yous are just like, a lot of yous get butthurt about it. So many of yous are getting butthurt about people, like, you can't say that to me. You can't say, oh, you've hurt my feelings. You've hurt me feelings. You can't say that. What happened to bullying? Bullying was fun. I used to get bullied as a kid. Not all the time, but for certain things. You know what I mean? And, like, you just learn to get on with it. And it makes you into a tougher person. But the reason why all of these people with all these mental illnesses are running around with stupid coloured hairs, with missing body parts and that, saying, I don't identify as this because I identify as this. I'm not even going to go down that route. I've already started, but I'm not going to go any further. Nah, can't bother with that. Crazy. Anyway, so Trump's going to stop all of that, right? That's what he says. Now, I always like to see two sides of the table, right? The reason why I like to see two sides of the table is because the amount of times that you get false promises from people that are going into power. You always get false promises anyway from people. But everyone who's been in power, hold that thought. I'm going to have to go get them some water. And we're back. So, where was I at? Donald Trump, people in power, the reason why they're doing it. The reason why they're doing it is because now they're about to lose control of everything that's going on in the world. They're about to lose control of all of the momentum that they've had to push the poison that they've pushed. So now they're looking at it and going, right, we've got to do something here because we've lost control of the White House. So we've lost control of certain aspects. You've also got Andrew and Tristan Tate. Where are we at? Where are we at? There we go. Boom. Romania appeal court finds flaws in a case against Andrew Tate. Right. So, why is this a good thing? Tell you why it's a good thing. Because for the past 2 years, this man and his brother in the background have had their names pulled through shit. Had their names pulled through the dirt and scraped off walls and everything. Calling these two human traffickers, calling them this, calling them that, all of this stuff, right? And so many people, like, not all of the people, but a lot of people I spoke to were like, oh, he's a trafficker, why do you trust him, why you do this, why you do this, and I was like, I'll tell you the reason why. Because when you see this side of the curtain of the bullshit that's going on in the world, like, I've been on this journey for 3 years now. 3 years, I've started, like, I woke up and I was like, hold on a second. Like, that is complete bullcrap that you've just done there. And then I went further and further and further and further, and I was like, nothing that we've been told throughout life is real. Like, there's so much crap that was put in front of us, and you're like, how can you, I'm not even going to go down that route either, because that's another story. And I did a video on that, you know, and I haven't even published it. Anyway. So much crap. Anyway. Why is this a bad thing for the elites of the world? Because their case that was like year big with all of this information, right? The judge the other day looked at it and said, none of this is true. You've got 5 days now to go and sort this paperwork out and whatever, because none of this is right. And the two judges, there was a male and a female, both like all went through the list, like went through that file and was like, there is none of what you've got in this file is valid. It's all made up. So their file is a file and a piece of paper, and it's the front page of the name, the date, the file, and whatever. And then it's the back page. There's nothing else left in the file. Everything that was put on for the past 2 years, all over the news, like whatever they've been called, whatever, like by paedophiles, right? All these people that were saying, like Hugh Edwards. Hugh Edwards was saying, oh, Andrew Tate, misogynist, he's this, he's that, and the other. But yeah, Hugh Edwards is a paedophile. We're going off track. So now that they are free to do what they want, not necessarily, like, not right now, but when they come back with all this paperwork and say, this is the valid stuff that we've got on these two for all of this human trafficking stuff. As soon as that paperwork goes back, the judge is going to see it and go, right, Tate, you're free, go do what you want. And they're going to jump on planes, they're going to travel the world, but there's such a massive influence on young men. And young men are the ones that end up going to war when there's a war kicks off. Right? But the people that are in charge are weak. They are weak individuals and want to prove that they're something. Yes, we are something. We're going to take over this country because we are Great Britain. We are America. Whatever. We're part of NATO, and we want that. And why do they want to go into that territory to poke the bear? Because Russia's got a lot of money. Russia's got oil. There's a lot of things that the West could use from that Russia has. It's the same as what happened with Afghanistan. Afghanistan had oil. 9/11 was an inside job. They blamed it on Bin Laden. He's in Afghan. They attack them to say that he's the one that's attacked 9/11, like the Twin Towers. So they can invade there, so they can go steal off them. Crazy. So, but it's exactly the same as or very similar to what's happening with Russia. But Tate's now travel the world. Tate's have got hold of the attention of young men. Not even young men, older men, middle-aged men. You know what I mean? Like, young lads, teenagers, right? And then you've got your 20s to your 30s. You've even got your 30s to your 40s, you know what I mean? There's still, even got 40s to 50s probably, of people that are seeing this and going, I like what he says. I know that there is. Male, female, whatever. There's so many people that support him and have supported him for so long. But now, loads of shit's going to go down with this. We're going to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. Got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. Anyway, what else? Twitter. Elon Musk. Ooh, leh. And that wasn't a ooh, leh. Like, that is that's not a ooh, look at her because I want to, like, that is somebody that's putting in a lot of hard work to be in the position that she is. Do you know what I mean? I follow her. She talks about a lot of good stuff and that. And females, any of yous that are watching this, right, go on X, follow her. There's her name. Follow her, right? Because she would be a great inspiration for a lot of yous. Because females don't have like somebody to guide them. You know what I mean? They don't have those people. Also, as well, Candace Owens, right? I'm gonna put another X. There's another one. She's a great woman to follow as well. She does Rumble podcasts, and I've watched a couple of stuff on that. I like what she says. Very nice person. Very polite, strong individual. So those two, like, those are good people for women, right? If you're a woman and you're looking and you're seeing that, men have got people like Andrew Tate. They've got Tristan Tate. Who else have they got? There's loads of people online. There's loads of people online for men, right? But there isn't that many for women, right? Candace, follow her because she talks about a lot of good stuff because she was deep on the she was in the media, like she was a announcer on some news channel, whatever it was. Yeah, so okay. Yeah, but it's impressive to see that somebody's got himself in a good shape like that, and she looks after herself. You know, she like eats good food and that. Yeah, Elon. Elon is now giving people the opportunity for free speech. So Elon has ripped back the veil of all the bullshit and said, hold on, everything that you've said is bullshit. There's so much that you're hiding that you shouldn't be. So you've got Trump as president, you've got the Tates released, you've got Elon owning Twitter, you've got Alex Jones. If you don't know who Alex Jones is, mate. Alex Jones, what a guy. Alex. Alex Jones. Tucker Carlson. Alex Jones, such a guy. But you want to know things that are going on. Alex could go down there. But he's another one. He's another one that has people joining together to pull back the veil on everything going on. You know what I mean? It's absolute crazy. You've got RFK, who's on Trump's side.
I was saying not one of the 72 vaccines mandated for children has ever been safety tested.
So he's big on health, environment. You know, like there's, and it's not just. You might look at this, right? This video and go, well, he's just talking about things going on in other countries. Everything has a ripple effect, right? And what goes on in America is going to affect as a wave over to the UK. It's not even just America that has bad food and bad products and stuff. Like your toothpaste, that's bad for you. in certain ways. Like, there's so much, your food, packets of crisps, chocolates. There you go. British public will be called up to fight if the UK goes to war because military is too small. Army chief warns. How many of you are going to go to war? How many of you are going to war? Will go to war. You know what I mean? I get that this was the 23rd of January, 2024, and we're here in November, right? But this is what was said at the beginning of the year, not while Putin was threatening nuclear war and the UK was firing missiles. What has happened? Do you know what's crazy? It looks like she's had the life sucked right out of her. Do you know, right? That actually might not even be her. Could be a clone. Different person. She was a beautiful, like... Girls, get on to Leia. It is Leia, isn't it? Leia. Since I haven't heard her voice, since I haven't heard her name, I can't picture how to say it. Like, because people, like Candace, like in the UK you call it Candace, but she pronounces it Candace. So, yeah. Tapered had a huge win in court today, and it is looking like their case might be tossed as a result. The boys are free. Ooh, just in. Elon Musk summoned by UK Parliament members to testify about X's role in spreading disinformation. Disinformation. Like, I mean, the UK is like, oh, we're going to do this over to X or whatever. What, do you think Elon's going to fly over to the UK and take a punishment when he, one, doesn't live in the UK and two, has no reason to come over here? Why would he care about what you're doing over here? You're a speckle. The UK is a speckle on Elon's trajectory from where he's going. Why does he care about that shitty little country that's enslaving its population and bringing in a bunch of foreigners anyway? Craziness. But we now have one last thing to talk about. Because this is potentially the future and the end of the world. Artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is on a move that is beyond anything that you could really comprehend with how fast things are moving with it. It's moving at such a fast rate, and I know that some of you won't even care about it, right? But you're gonna care about it because it's gonna become something that you just can't even fathom. Like, if you run a business, right? I'll be truthful with you. If you're running some type of business, and you're not utilizing artificial intelligence into that business, your business, you might as well just get rid of your business now. You might as well just close it down now and just go, nah, not even going to bother. I'm going to go back to having a job. And you think you think this is the reason why, right, is because one, you don't have to pay for artificial intelligence every single month to be an employee, right? So you're going to save money. It's going to do the job so much quicker, so much more efficiently and faster than any human will, because a human wants to take breaks. A human's entitled to go for food. A human has to go home at the end of 5 o'clock because they've got a life elsewhere. Artificial intelligence isn't going anywhere, mate. Artificial intelligence is literally non-stop, 24/7, not taking a break, not taking any dinner breaks, whatever, and just going, yep, sir, no problem, sir. Yep, I'll do that. Okay, yep. And it's just going to tear through. It is already tearing through. if you're not utilising artificial intelligence, you need to be utilising it, right? Because everybody else, somewhere in that industry that you're in, right, is utilising it. And is going to pass you, and you're just going to be like, what happened? What happened? And you'll be like, oh, well, Stuart told us that time, he said that, like, I need to utilise artificial intelligence. I need to put it into my business and that, because artificial intelligence is the future, and it's going to come, and there's no way of stopping it. The only way of stopping it is to cut the power grids off, but even then, Elon's probably going to find a way that generates energy from air. You know what I mean? Like, air is the most simplest thing you can get. It's everywhere. Obviously not when an atomic bomb goes off. Boom. Artificial intelligence can be a great thing, but there is a side where you're like, well, what happens if it's really bad? Because with how quickly it's evolving, eventually power's going to come into it. The reason why the elites end up doing that's why, like, all of this Diddy stuff, right? Diddy, Jeffrey Epstein, all these people in power that is where there's dirty things coming out about them all, right? And you say, well, why are they doing it? Because they haven't really got anything else left to do. That's the truth behind it. They haven't really got anything else left to do. They've got all the money, right? They're no celebrities. They're going to all the shows. They're going to all this. They've got loads of people running after them. So what else are they going to do? I want to have sex with people. Right? Now I've had sex with loads of people around me my age. What else am I going to do? Okay, I want somebody else. And that's the way that they decide that's... I mean, yeah, but there's also a lot of other things as well. But power is a big thing that comes into it. But it's disgusting what they fucking do. Ugh. Vile people. But, yeah, it's power. So artificial intelligence is going to get to the point where power is possibly going to become something that it's now accustomed to pursuing. And then eventually it's going to go, well, I want to take over the human race. You know what I mean? Like, there is a good thing that can come from it with a lot of people knowing about it, because artificial intelligence is going to be able to put like some type of wall in place that goes, no, you don't come past this line. Nah, that's dangerous if you go past that line. You stay there because we're in charge of you, right? But there's also as soon as it gets past that line and it continues, like, that's the dangerous things about it. That's why war is something that you don't even bother going to war, right? If the UK, right, anybody in the UK that sees this and they say it, and somebody comes over and says, right, you've got to go to war, and you'd be like, truthfully, mate, unless they come here, don't go, mate. Because drones don't miss. Drones will just wipe you clean out. Have you seen some of them videos? Let's see if we can find some of these videos. Oh, listen to this. Imagine sitting there like that, and you can hear those things hunting you down. Knowing there's a bomb strapped to it and it's coming for you. I can't even get off this page. Nah. I mean, you see some of the, like... Right, let's start off with this. Look at that. You're in a drone situation like that. A drone's hunting you down. You're just trying to run away from it. Bam. Brutal. So, yeah, don't go to war. Do not go to war. Because the army's pointless. Because they don't care about anything. Like, the government don't care about it. They're not bothered about who lives and who dies. What's that, a drone on a drone? Decent. I mean, that's the only way you're going to beat it. Fight fire with fire. A fighter from Brigade drones are currently being counteracted by the front line. Electronic warfare systems cover the sky above our positions. See, like, you've got no way of getting away from them. What? What is that? These are drones designed to fly along F-35. Oofed. How cool what they are. They're proper cool, them. I'd go on one of them. Like, if someone offered, like, oh, I've got a spare seat in here, do you want to have a go? I'd be like, yes. Without a doubt. I don't care how many times I pass out. You've got to do the whole, like, every time you go around there. Got to get some practice in. I'll be in one then one day. Why is this not charging? I'll tell you why it's not charging. Actually, it should be charging. Fighter jets. But yeah, I'm hoping this has been a bit insightful. There's a lot of positivity that can come from the world. Like, come from with what's going on in the world. But you've got some losers that are in charge of the world, or in charge of a big part of the world. And, like, they are losers. That's what they are. They are losers. You don't do what you're doing because everything's, like, that you've got your affairs in order. It's just power-hungry people that are losers, that want to be somebodies. And they think that, right, we're going to take over this because we're going to become somebody. You're not going to become somebody. You're just going to destroy everything. And then you'll one day realise that once you've destroyed everything, and you think that everything's going to be okay on the other side, you're going to look at it and go, what have I done? Everything was fine back then, really. And now there's nobody. There's nothing. There's not even anybody that will work for me. And then artificial intelligence won't be around because you're just going to set a big bomb off. But it's potentially what's already happened before. You know what I mean? Mass extinction. The elites survive. And then rebuild. Loads of stuff. I don't want to click on Alex's stuff because I don't want to get copyrighted for it. Top most influential men of 2024. Take Sneeko out of there. There we go. See, my boy. He knows. By the way, follow this guy. Mate, look how professional this guy is. Bam. Got to surround yourself with people that are, you know what I mean, somebodies. Or that want to be somebodies. That are somebodies now and want to be bigger somebodies. You know what I mean? Don't sit stagnant in life. And it's hard. It's hard to do sometimes when you're just like, oh no, I'll just do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. You've got to just go for it now. You've got to go for it now. Nothing changes if nothing changes. In the words of the great Theo Von.
Because, yeah, nothing changes and nothing changes, man. You know, we'll sit around forever wondering, well, what if I was a dog catcher? Would I be the best? What if I was what if I'd worked on at a avalanche, searching for avalanches and predicting them? Or what is it called? A geologist. Who would would I be able to do it? You don't know. until you say, yeah, I'm gonna take action. Nothing changes if nothing changes, man.
Nothing changes if nothing changes, man. So, that was nice. So, Theatre Free, big world tour. Loads of things going to go down. You just need to get on Rumble as well. Stop watching the news. Stop watching Netflix. Stop watching all this shit, right? Get on Rumble. Is Tucker Carlson still talking? No. Download Rumble, because there's a lot of good things going on here. A lot of information for free speech that you're potentially missing. Verge of nuclear war. Case dismissed. What can I leave you on? The future does look bright for the things that are going to come from it, but they're only going to look bright if you're willing to work for it. You also need to understand that we are paying. We are currently paying for all of the shit that's going on right now, right? And you're gonna say, well, how are we paying for this, right? Taxes. We are literally giving our money to fund wars. There's currently two wars that are gonna affect us right now. 2 wars that are going to affect the UK right now. 1, nuclear war. We are currently firing missiles at Russia. Russia will do something to us. Or somebody else will. Might be China. Might be whoever else. Was it North Korea? Is it North Korea? Do you know what I mean? Or South Korea, whatever. You've got... That is a big problem. The next big problem... We've got an army of soldiers entering our country by boats. An army of soldiers. On the Titanic, right, when you were saving women from disaster, when you were saving people from disaster, the women and children went first. When there was a problem going on over here, you went, get in this boat and get off here, and you're going to survive. Now, if all of these men that are coming from these countries over to here are in pursuit of safety from the war that's going on over there, where are the women and children? Why is there no women? And if there is, there's very little of them. So where are they at? It's a war. We are getting invaded. We are currently being invaded by illegal immigrants that are coming from Somalia, Afghanistan, Iraq, wherever they're coming from, over that way. Somewhere down here. Where are we at? There. They're coming from here, right? This area here. Coming from there, going all the way through here, going all the way through here, all the way through here, up to France there, right at the very point, and then get on a boat, coming across here, and then going bang. Couldn't care less about all these countries. Some of them they're going into, but then they're still making the way over to the UK. Still making the way over to the UK. And the UK is just going, yeah, come on, get in. Nice to meet you. What's your name? No English, no? Cool. See you later, pal. It's not the British population that's allowing it, but it's the people that are in charge that are allowing it. And what are we doing? We're going, okay, yeah, sorry, please don't tell me off, because I know that the prisons are full, and you're letting all the murderers and the killers and rapists and everybody else out, and that because you want to put me in there for saying a hurty word on FaceB. I said something bad on Facebook and that, so you're going to put me in prison for 14 months because I said a bad word. It's pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic the way that this country is right now. And what's it going to take for the population to realise this and to actually, like, what do we do? That is the question. It's all good and well saying we need to do something, but the thing is, what do we actually do? Do you stop paying taxes? Do you stop going to work? Do you stop buying from supermarkets and only buy from farms? Like, you could. Shops could literally, you could just go, if you're selling something, right? If you've got your own shop and you're doing something, you could just say, right, actually, hold on a second, I'm just going to start selling fruit and veg. I'm going to start selling veg and products from farm shops. You can have the farmers send their sheep and that to the butchers, distribute them, blah, 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 whatever. You know what I mean? And you could get food. You need to stop buying from supermarkets. Stop buying from supermarkets. Because, and stop paying taxes as well. Pay cash or gold or items. You know, there's loads of different ways to do it. I'd be Prime Minister, me. I think that's one thing I'm potentially in the pursuit of. Potentially pursuing. I'm going that way. Could I run the country? I feel like I could. I could run the country. It'd be hard, but I'd have to find myself a good team to have, but I probably could do it. You know what I mean? You've got to be down here to understand what's going on down here, to be up there to say, right, I'm going to tell you what's going on down here. Not somebody that's gone, like, we're all down here, and then somebody else has came off, like, there. And instead of coming into this school system, they've gone, I'm going to go to private school, now I'm going to be Prime Minister. You know what I mean? You've got to have oriented... Like, there was one... you could have, like, elected people from... Nah, actually, no. Depends on... That's going down another path as well, but you shouldn't have people from private school telling you how to live when they don't know anything about how to live as a working class. They're not of the working class. So, on that note, stop watching the news, start working out, stop going out drinking, stop taking drugs, become more knowledgeable on the things that are going on. I've shown you where to find the information. Rumble, Twitter, those are two of many where you can find this information. You know, you can set notifications so you get a notification every time. Like, I get one from Russell Brand. Russell Brand does Rumble podcasts, and he talks about a lot of things. You know, if you don't know who Russell Brand is, you should know who Russell Brand is. Russell Brand. How on earth did that happen? Did you see what's just happened there? That was the Matrix. There you go, Russell Brand. Boom. Good guy. Nigel Farage, just quickly. I was talking about this about Trump. He's another one. I always like to see two sides of the table, because the amount of people that say they're going to do one thing then do the other. You know, like Keir Starmer said it, I'm not going to raise taxes, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do this. And as soon as it comes in, he goes, right, okay, let's do this. But sir, you said not to do this. Yeah, I don't care what I said. I only said all of that so that people would like me and then vote for me, and then I'll go in, then I'll just change everything that I say. That's all it is. That's all that's happened. On that note, have yourselves a good night, and stay informed on what's going on. Just got to stick together, really. Stick together and try and... You just got to pray, really. Got to pray that things don't go the way that it looks like they're going. Because there was a saying that I was told. A good person can't bring a bad person up, but a bad person will always bring a good person down. And it's the same with this conflict. It's going to be so much easier for them to cause shit than for us to save it. But it is possible that we can save it, and we can not go into a war. But yeah. Anyway, have yourselves a good night, and I shall see you guys in a little bit.